Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof, and today we're going to be talking about Batman Return to Arkham and whether or not there will be additional DLC content for the game and why the game was delayed in the first place. Now, if you think about it, in Wayne Manor, there is a 425 Easter egg. As many of you know, I was going on very laboriously and excessively claiming that on 425, that would be April 25th, we were going to get a trailer for Return to Arkham. The fact of the matter was, we did not get that trailer until later in May. Furthermore, the initial leak suggested that Return to Arkham was initially scheduled to be released on June 10th. That game was pushed back to July. So roughly everything was shifted back a month with this game. This game was announced approximately a month later than it was supposed to be announced, and the game is going to be released roughly 1 month later than it was planned to. But I do not know if this was due to the game needing more time to develop. Maybe WB Montreal, or excuse me, Virtuous, who's developing the game, noticed some things in the graphics they wanted to improve, or if it is a possibility that they have more to reveal at E3. And this is where it gets really exciting, because it is just a remaster, right? It's a $50 remaster, $25 for both games, and all of the DLC. And, you know, in talking to some of my friends that are interested, they're Arkham fans, they said they're not going to get it ultimately because for whatever reason. And the most common issue or instance that I hear is that they already own the game and all the DLC on PS3 and Xbox 360. So they have no incentive to buy the game, seeing that they already own it. And I'm not in any way saying that this is going to happen, but I would think that it would be interesting if at E3 we were to get a little bit of information regarding what's going on with Return to Arkham. Without a shadow of a doubt, Return to Arkham will be at display at the WB booth at E3. So if you're in the area, you know, June 14th is when it happens, then you're definitely going to want to head over to the WB booth, because you're probably going to get, we are expected to get an announcement maybe for a WB Montreal game. We're expected to get an announcement for Injustice. We're expected as well at the Telltale booth. You can expect a Batman Telltale trailer, and when I say expect, I'm expecting. That's my personal speculation. So don't actually expect it, because, I mean, what is that to know? Of course, I'm the one that said that this game was going to be announced on April 25th, which it was not. So maybe you're questioning my validity, as you should, because I have no inside sources or anything. I'm just totally going off of my speculation and my estimation. But with the Telltale Batman game, we know it's coming out summer, and we have nothing yet. We have no trailer or anything, so it seems reasonable that they would reveal this at the grandest of all video game platforms. Anyway, so let's talk about Return to Arkham once again. So June 14th is E3, and it would be sensible that the month leading up to the release of the game on July 26th, they announce something that's going to incentivize fans that are on the fence. Not you and I, and well, I'm assuming you. Definitely not I. I already pre-ordered the game. I'm already getting it. But fans that are contemplating whether or not they want to get it. They're contemplating whether or not they want to relive these experiences in the Arkham games. And what's really unique about this remaster is that everybody has experienced these games, and they're so popular, they're so iconic, and they're so massive that actually works to the game's hindrance, believe it or not, because the games are so recent. I don't know if people were technically or necessarily dying to get this remaster on a mainstream level. Of course, us as hardcore Arkham fans, and I making, you know, videos for the games and everything else like that, clearly you and I show a interest above that of the mainstream norm. But I didn't hear anybody, you know, outside of class like, oh man, you know what, I want to play Arkham City on next gen, because the game's only 4 years old, 5 years old, you know what I mean? So that's, I think, a concern for them. And the real balance, the counterbalance to that concern, I think, for WB would be, in my personal opinion, if I'm heading the game, I'm adding additional content to the game, and whether that be side missions, but most importantly, I would probably say additional side missions actually inside of the map, inside of the game of Asylum and City. Now, Asylum, it's very simple. You just add an additional, you know, wing or whatever to the Asylum. It does not have to be massive, and these side missions do not have to be expansive or particularly amazing or expansive. However, just the slightest of innovation, the slightest of additional content would incentivize a large majority of fans that, for one, are on the last generation. They're comfortable with their copies of Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. They have no incentive necessarily to drop an extra $50 to get this game on next generation, because they already have the DLC and they already have the game. However, if you offer them a game that is different from that of which they're playing on last gen, then you would incentivize them to drop that extra $50. It would not be that hard for them to do. And again, if I'm heading WB, if I'm heading this project, that's what I'm doing. I'm not spending a ton of money adding these side missions. I'm not spending a ton of money, you know, basically creating a whole nother layer of the game. Certainly not, but I am adding a bit. I'm adding enough that fans that are complacent, they're like, maybe I'll pass this up. That is what's going to convert them to come over. And that's what I'm wondering is the purpose of E3. What else would Arkham reveal? What else would they reveal at E3 on June 14th? Otherwise, would they just show another trailer? That seems kind of irreverent in the fact that both of these games are already on the table. We know what we're getting the DLC, we know what the price is. There's nothing else for us to learn. Or is there? That's what I'm saying. And I have no evidence. I'm not saying that there will be. In fact, I'm honestly saying that the likelihood is small. However, this is just my input, and previously the Arkham games have been very keen to listen to the fans with some of the complaints that we had for the Arkham Knight Season Pass. They were very quick to address some of the concerns that we had that could be remedied, and other ones, you know, like story DLC packs coming out in a month, they obviously couldn't remedy. But other than that, the Arkham, you know, the Arkham team at Rocksteady in particular, I don't know about WB Montreal or Virtuous, but the Rocksteady team is very responsive to community input, so I thought that I would give mine, and I'd love to know your thoughts about this topic in the comment section below. But does it seem weird to anyone else that this game, they have to have something at E3, right? And they've already revealed the trailer, that we already know what we're getting. What else is there to learn about the game? What else is there? And this is what I'm feeling, that there's something on the horizon for Return to Arkham, whether it be skins from Arkham City, you know, crossing over to Arkham Asylum, or something. I just feel like there's definitely something missing with this game. So, you know, I'd love to know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. Do you think that is a possibility? Do you think additional skins and additional DLC, or maybe even some additional side missions, are possible for Return to Arkham? And if they are, then I think that we would learn about that at E3, and if not, then it is what it is. I'm still getting the game. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. This is just my honest desires and opinions as the Arkham fan that I am. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.